Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're talking Super Evolutions. Super Evolutions, 6 pluses, 5 pluses, all of that stuff is very prevalent in the game of OPTC, and in today's video, we'll be taking all of the Super Evolution characters, putting them on a tier list to help you guys prioritize what units are the most valuable, where to use them, and actually how to attain them. So, the main place that you will see your Super Evolutions for your Legend characters is over in the Kizuna Clash tab. If you click on the Kizuna Clash tab, it should look like this if there is no Kizuna going on. You click on the Kizuna shop and it will bring up a shop that has a lot of different items. Now, if you're a new player, you'll kind of be stuck in a Kizuna jail where you'll be playing Kizuna once a month. You will not have nearly as many Kizuna insignias as you would like to max out some of these legends or some of the old free-to-play characters that you might have missed out on. So as you can see, the skulls are on sale for the 10th anniversary. If you guys are a mid to end game player, I would definitely pick them up now, even if the characters are a little bit lower on the tier list, because at the end of the day, some of these characters are very, very valuable for particular parts of the game. But we'll talk about that once we get to the tier list. As you can see, Ace is the most expensive. He is a free-to-play 6+ legend. Free-to-play. So he is the most expensive, but everyone else is down to about 20 costs. Now, to do your legends, you need 3 of their specific skull, and then you need 2 of the color-based skulls. You can find them down the bottom of the Kizuna shop, but they are very expensive at 90 Kizuna insignias. I do not recommend you pick up these particular skulls here. The ones that you should be picking up are the skulls for the particular units. And obviously, you should probably pick these up only when you need them for particular pieces of content, or if the skulls are on sale. So as I mentioned, the skulls right now, or particular skulls right now, are on sale for 20 insignias. Usually they're 40 insignias, but once a month we'll have a discounted 2 legends. Hopefully they continue it like this, but look, if they don't, we'll have at least 2 available every single month that are on discount, and I would highly recommend picking up them as well. Plus, you have the character tab for some of the free-to-play characters. Basically, everyone from the Kuja Pirates, excluding Brooke, Rebecca, Zora Sanji, Ivankov, Chopper, Miguel and Hannibal, all have 5 pluses. And again, we'll talk about them as we go through today's video, but you basically have to pick up the character and then the skulls, and like I said, you can get stuck in this Kizuna jail, and that's why I would highly recommend saving your Kizuna insignias for either the Legend 6 pluses or the 5 pluses when you actually need them. As for the regular color skulls, you can actually find them over here in Rayleigh's Bazaar. They're still very, very expensive, but the fact that you can actually use Rayleigh points here means that you can save your insignias to max out a lot of other characters as well. Obviously, with Kizunas in the future, you will get these types of skulls, so you can prioritize like the newer 6 plus, some of the older 6 pluses, but there is some 5 plus characters that are very, very good for particular pieces of content as well, that you may need to pick up over here in the Treasure Map shop. Treasure Map and PKA, or Pirate King's Adventures, has now been sort of merged in the sense that you will receive a free-to-play character once a month through PKA, and then you'll super evolve them in the Treasure Map. There is 2 legends that you can find over here in the Treasure Map shop, being the Dofi and the Hakuba, and then if you head over to characters, you can select a particular character that you want to super evolve, and you can find their skulls there. So that's where you find the skulls. They are very, very expensive. Unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. There is no ifs or buffs about it. They do become very expensive if you do want to max out all these characters. However, the purpose of today's video is to help you guys prioritize which ones you need to do. But if you enjoy the video, belt the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite Super Evolution is in the game. And with that said, let's take a look at the tier list. So about 8 months ago, I did put together this tier list already. And this is basically what it looked like in terms of the best of the best. So your God tier, these are the characters that you definitely want to 6 plus. They're going to pop up everywhere within regular content, PvE, PvP, Grand Party, PKA. Basically everywhere in the game, these characters do have a place that they shine very, very nicely. Next, you got PvP Monster. These are like the best of the best when it comes to just PvP. Super Evolutions are very endgame, if I'm completely honest with you. So having access to a Super Evolution either means that you're sort of up to date with the meta, or you have basically leveled up the character purely for the PvP game mode. However, Grand Voyage, again, another very endgame mode, is a place where these Super Evolution characters shine too. So we do have the Grand Voyage must tier. When a character gets a Super Evolution 2, they stereotypically get their level 5 level limit break, and that's where we've highlighted the elite level limit break 5. This means you need 10 copies of the character and all that Super Evolution stuff we spoke of to have these characters at their max potential. If we make our way down now, I have added 2 new tiers, being solid PvP buff, or solid PvP level limit break 5. These characters are going to be like just not as good as the one that you guys saw above. Grand Voyage weapons, again, just not as good as the ones you guys saw above. And then nice buff are just characters that did get a very nice buff with their Super Evolution and their 6+. And then down here, these characters are pretty much going to be you don't bother. Like, you just don't have to worry about them at all. Because they don't really shine anywhere in content, nor are they needed. Now, obviously, we get new Grand Voyages every single month. Or every single 3 months, I believe it is now. And we do have shifts to the meta, so that we do need to evaluate some of these characters down here. But since the last time I did this, we have a lot of characters, all the way up to here to Lucci, to talk about with 6+. Now, not all these characters will be found in the Kazuna shop, and if you guys do head down to the comment section and say, hey, where are the Lucci skulls? It's just because Lucci isn't in the shop yet, but in 2 months' time, he will be in the shop, so that's why you can't see him right now. But something I didn't do last time was add all of the 5+s to this tier list. So that's what we're going to do today as well. I have included the Yamato, the first co-op 5+ unit. We're going to put her on the tier list as well. But before we do that, let's scroll all the way to the back to the top and let's do some changes to the tier list. First of all, I'm going to bring Uta down to solid PvP. She doesn't need a level limit break 5, but look, she's just a solid PvP option. I'm just going to make this solid PvP, to be honest. She doesn't need that. She doesn't have it, but she's good in PvP. And that's pretty much about it. As for Pudding, I think Pudding is like... Yeah, Pudding's really good. I'm going to bring Pudding up into God tier. Mainly because she's so good in PvP with the new Int Gear 5. And with her level limit break and all that fun stuff, like, she can avoid interrupts too, which is just absolutely crazy. Some of these characters did get level limit breaks. This Luffy got a level limit break. But I just think that he is an elite unit. Like, I just don't think he's where he was a little while ago. But he's still very, very good. As for Neko and Inu, they're basically going to move down to Grand Voyage Must. I don't use them anywhere besides that Grand Voyage piece of content whenever I'm doing showcases. That's basically it. Shanks can definitely be moved down to PvP Monster. I don't necessarily run Shanks anymore, but he's still very, very good. As for Nami and Robin, I'm going to bring them down to solid PvP option. They're great for Grand Voyage under Gear 5, but with the in Gear 5, they definitely dropped off. Doflamingo as well is another just solid PvP unit. Kizaru is just a solid PvP unit. You just have better options that don't involve so much investment. But look, if you're looking for other characters to put on your PvP teams, these are characters that can do work. Mihawk, he's just a solid PvP option. Same with Whitebeard, Bardo Cavendish, and Sugar. They're definitely just solid PvP options. Honestly, Kuzan and Blackbeard are so close to moving down, in my opinion. I'm going to bring Blackbeard down just because he has been hard replaced by Roger. And if you summon on any anniversary banner in the future, Roger's going to be there. However, Kuzan, he's still very good at nerfing int and strength, so I'm going to leave him up here in PvP Monster. As for the Grand Voyage Must tier, I did move Rayleigh up. I did have the support tier last time. I did delete that just because the supports don't change, whether or not you're looking at their 6+ or their 6-star. So I added Rayleigh to the Grand Voyage Must. He's viable in 3 different Grand Voyages, which is kind of crazy. This Big Mom, she's a Grand Voyage weapon. So is this Blackbeard. But they're not a must character. Like, you don't need to have them yourself to make the content work so well. They're great as just a friend captain. You can utilize them there. As for Brook, he is just a must as well. He's just a weapon as well. He's no longer a must. Still very, very good, but definitely not a must. This Usopp, honestly, never was a must. I don't know why I even had him there. I honestly, with this Usopp, I just wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't bother with the Usopp. I was doing it with the free-to-play Usopp, like, way back when. This Sabo, he's really good in that Syrup Village Grand Voyage, but, like, he's not a must. Same with this Fuji. He's very, very good, but not a must-have for that. This Uta as well is a very, very good option for Grand Voyage. As for the other characters, for local sea monster, Neko Ino is crazy. You have to have these 2 characters max basically to do the Arlong Park. This Mihawk, this Sanji are still absolutely goated for theirs, and this Zoro is still absolutely fantastic as well. But since this video, we've had 2 new Grand Voyages, which means we have to bring up some characters. Barto, well, I think we've actually had 3. We've had 3 Grand Voyages since this video. Barto is basically a must on the Quick Striker team when it comes to running the Grand Voyage versus Smoker. This Lucy has become a must for the Grand Voyage where you have to bring Luffy against... it's the latest one. I can't exactly remember who you verse. I think you verse, like... Yeah, no, I can't even remember who you verse. But Marco, he's a character that is a must up there too for the same fight. The same fight with against Smoker with Bardo, you have to basically max out this Whitebeard. There are other options. Tesora's another one that you basically have to bring for Grand Voyage. There are other options, like I said, but like if we're talking how you doing, like they're the ones that have to be brought. This Kuzan is another, like these two together were the captains that you had to bring. Smoker obviously has to come too, but he doesn't have a 6+, which is hilarious. As for the rest of the characters down here, some of them have good supports and some of them are okay elsewhere. Like you could say like this Jinbei is a very good PvP character. This Jinbei is a very, very good Grand Voyage option. Oh, this Katakuri, he is basically a Grand Voyage monster as well. As well as this Luffy that is down here. We had the... Sorry, not the Verse Smoker variation for these ones. This is the Verse Smoker variation. These characters are basically like must level ups. Same with Garp. Garp, I don't even know if Garp... I think Garp did get replaced on the Arlong Park fight, but look, he's very, very good. Like, he's very, very good for that fight, and I would level him up just for that. And same with, like, Bullet. Look, Bullet's just... I'm going to leave him leveled in rank 5, because you need his leveled in rank 5 for him to be as exceptional as he is. As for characters, I'm going to bring down to nice buff from up here. I'm going to bring Shiki down. Shiki's good, but, like, he just doesn't really see all that much play. I'm going to bring... Whitebeard and Marco up into Grand Voyage Weapon. They are very, very good for the fight against Smoker, where you have to bring the Psy fighter characters. This Sanji Judge is okay for Grand Voyage against Arlong, but other than that, not really that amazing. As for other characters down here, this Lord did get a nice buff. I think I definitely discredited what this Lord can do. Akane's kind of mid. Sanji's kind of mid. All these characters down the bottom here are actually kind of mid. Shout out to my boy Enel Rules OPTC. Sorry, he's staying down below. I guess you could say that this Sengoku's solid in PvP for the meme, but I don't rate it. And everyone else, like, I just don't think that they're the wave. So if you see these characters, maybe pick up their skulls. Like, again, possible PvP unit. But, maybe pick up their skulls, but at the end of the day, like, you could probably just skip over these units. Let's move on to the crux now, because we have a lot to talk about in today's video, and I have been rambling on a little bit already. So let's dive straight into it. Zeph, don't bother. I like Zeph's level limit break. I think he's very, very good, but he buffs shooters. Shooter teams aren't there. Don't bother. It's not worth it. As for Stampede Luffy is a monster in Treasure Map. Like, Stampede Luffy's so good. I honestly think Stampede Luffy's probably up here in God tier. He's probably one of the best 6+s that we've had this year. Look, all of the 6+ have been really, really good this year. But he removes Despair and Paralysis. He's great in Treasure Map. Absolutely fantastic in that regard. And that's pretty much where I use him most. Same with like Halloween Ace and Carrot. Like, these characters here are basically my Treasure Map options. And in regular PvE, I use them a lot as well. But honestly, like, they are starting... These two characters especially are starting to fall off, because I don't really use them anywhere else. Same with Stampede Luffy, though. Like, you're not really going to use him anywhere else. But, like, in PvE, he's so freaking good. Like, he's so disgustingly good. Next, we've got my boy Shanks. Honestly, Wi-Fi Shanks, he was kind of a letdown. Honestly, like, on paper, he works exceptionally well. The problem is, like, they just didn't give him a super type, man. Just give him a fucking super type. He does have the ability, and he did create... Oh, no, he didn't create it, but he brought back that ability to being an attack booster and a chain booster that can't be blown away. As a captain, he can work exceptionally well hybrid style. However, most of the time you can use him in PvP. If you're going up against a Sai team, bring him. He does so much damage at level limit break 5. Like, he's just very, very strong. He is the best counter for Sai. Alongside some other units that aren't like 6+s, but as for a 6+ option in PvP, like he does so much work for me in PvP. So yeah, if you're looking for a PvP character to take down Sai, he's going to be your man. Next we've got Law. Law is very, very good. I don't know if Law's as good as Uta. Uta's probably better than these characters. The reason Law's so good, especially nowadays, because we're going to talk about another 6+ Super Sugo, is his final tap will be a 3x conditional against defense down, which he sets to 0 as well, but it doesn't go through a full immunity. But his buff got very nice because he can buff Dex super types to a 3x, which is absolutely massive. He provides so much damage with his special. Increased damage taken through full immunity is absolutely exceptional. Works great with Yamato, the New Year's legend. He's just a very, very powerful character. Cerebral's getting a lot of buffs. Dex is very good, and slashes are absolutely god tier, so definitely a character you want to look at. Next, we've got Ace. Ace is a PvP monster. I would be, say, very close to putting Ace in god tier, because obviously he has the double stacking conditional shenanigans, but 9 times out of 10, if you're going to use the character, it's only in PvP. That's the only place I use him. Oh, and Treasure Map too. But PvP and, yeah, Treasure Map are like his 2 big areas. I don't think he's god tier, in the sense that you want to, maybe, he's a great wave clearer, but like, you can get away with not using him in Treasure Map, but he's just fantastic in PvP. So I'm going to leave him up here in PvP Monster, where these characters, like, I've seen the utility that these guys have is just disgusting. And then this utility as a sub is very, very good too. You know what? I'm going to bring Carrot. Oh, that's hard. I'm going to bring Carrot down to elite level limit break 5. I definitely think that's warranted. I'm going to bring Hody down to don't bother as well. No, Hody can go into nice buff, and so can Law. Yeah, Law can go into nice buff too. That kind of frees up a lot of space here as well, so I think I'm going to bring these characters down, actually. Stampede Luffy, like I said, is very, very good. They didn't give him a super type either, where they gave Zeph a super class, I believe. But you're pretty much only going to use them in Treasure Map, to be honest, and you can still get that same effectiveness out of them, whether or not you have them level limit broken. I think Carrot's probably the better one of the 3, and look, you can use her in PvP where the others you can't, so I'll leave Carrot up there. I'm going to bring these 2 down. We'll go from there. That's funny. I started with like moving Carrot and then not, but hey. Next we've got Kaido. Kaido is freaking insane. He's a PvP monster, but he's still very good in regular play. In regular play, he has that ability to auto-trigger, especially if you take 10,000 damage. He has increased damage taken through full immunity now. If you're a newer player, and you find this guy as a friend captain, and you're trying to do like garbs challenges and stuff, he's going to be your best friend. Like, he works so well at sort of just clearing stages, doing a lot of damage, and sort of just making his way through easy and old content. Fantastic legend, but again, most of the time you're going to use him in PvP. He can work in Grand Voyage too, in the Arlong Park fight. He was very, very good for that. But again, there's just other characters that kind of just do it better. But he's a PvP monster. If you want to say that he goes up here in God tier, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but this God tier is kind of reserved for, yeah, it's kind of reserved for Super Sugos nowadays, but, look, we move. Moving on down, we got Rayleigh. Rayleigh is an elite level limit break 5. Very similar to what, the Luffy is doing with the utility of Paralysis and Despair. Rayleigh actually does attack down, plus his special allows fighters and Cerebrals to go through defensive effects, and now allows you to use 2 specials after it, which is very, very good. Or I think it's 1. It's like 1 other special, which is very, very good because he never used to be able to do that. Problem is, they turned him into a slasher, and then, like, he does final tap with slashes. So unless you bring us another Cerebral slasher unit, they're not getting that final tap buff, because they're not going to go through the defensive effects if they're just slashes. So a little bit annoying in that regard, but still very, very good character. Exceptional level in Reg 5, and he's going to help you out in a lot of areas of the game. Moving on down, we have Arlong. Arlong is Grand Voyage must. Thing with Arlong is you don't actually need Arlong as a 6+ unit to be very, very good in his Grand Voyage. Like, he's the best Arlong to bring for it. I think I did see Chowsy put out a video that doesn't use him. But his 6+ is just fantastic for that particular fight. However, if you have the 6-star, like, you can still clear it very, very easily without it. Next, we've got Bonnie. Bonnie is a PvP monster. I don't like that they changed her to Cerebral in regular play, but in PvP, I love it. It's so good for PvP because it works great with Atlas, works great with the int cerebrally based team, and that's what makes Pudding just so friggin' good up here. She can remove Special Bind, which is awesome in regular play. She does a Chain Boundary now instead of a Chain Lock, which is awesome. You do have to use a certain amount of recovery orbs, but for me, like, if you're using Bonnie, using V3 Bonnie in regular content rather than this chick. She's very, very good in PvP, though. If you haven't run the int cerebral team, try it out because, like, damn, she's very, very good. Next, we got Super Tandem Luffy. Super Tandem Luffy will not be available right now, but look, he is a 6+ in the game, and he's very, very good. I'm gonna bring Yamato down here, I think, yeah, down here. Uta and Gear 5 definitely on the play. He's very, very good. They did make him more fighter-centric in PvP, which is a problem because Strength Gear 5 is a thing. However, in regular play, this guy did get a massive buff. He's an attack booster now. He can extend the attack boost instead of an orb boost. He still gives tandem orbs, which is great for his super tandem. And the combination of these two characters now, this lore, honestly, I feel like it's like this. This lore and this Luffy together now works exceptionally because you can actually use the super tandem of this Luffy to set defense low through full immunity and then get his final tap ability off. It's a very, very rare mechanic, and obviously with Luffy as well, you can use Ace as your rush character, so you could actually rush from the Ace into Luffy. Ace is now part of Luffy's Super Tandem, same with Roger and Shanks. Rush into the Luffy Super Tandem. Luffy can then proc his Super Tandem and then have Law as the final tap, and you're getting another conditional boost. With the new era of OPTC, we'll call it, there is so many new buffs in the game that it's very hard to squeeze them all onto a team. Having a final tap that can give you a buff, it's why Yamato is so good as well. Having a final tap that can give you another buff and have it guaranteed no matter what, which is what this combination is very, very strong. When he pops up in the shop, I would pick him up. He's going to be very, very nice in that regard, and his Super Tandem is just, it's really, really strong. Next, we've got Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci is very, very good. He's exceptional at just absolutely destroying, what's it called? Quick units in PvP. Most of the time, you're going to use him in PvP, but he's very good at just completely removing defense as well. Now, that doesn't really come in with his 6+, though. That's always available, whether you have him 6-star or whether you have him 6+. What did change is just his multipliers. As a captain, he can do some like healing stuff, but like I said, in PvP, that's where he got some really big buffs, where he just now absolutely decimates poor old Quick. Quick just get absolutely destroyed in PvP. I'm going to bring Shanks down to a solid PvP option, and I'm going to actually take out Giampier, because I just think Giambier's just not worth it, man. Honestly, this Mihawk's probably not worth it either. Whitebeard, he's a Grand Voyage weapon. I'm going to bring him down because he's like, I don't use him in PvP anymore. He was good for like the powerhouse HP cutting team, but he's pretty much just really good for that Grand Voyage at Arlong Park. So that's going to be the super evolutions of the 6-star characters in the game. As of right now, this is basically all of the ones we have. The recent ones, like I said, do find a home at the top. As for my number one priority, I would definitely look at doing Gear 5, but I do want to put an asterisk on this Gear 5. I would only do this Gear 5 if you have a second copy. You definitely want to keep a 6-star Gear 5 if you're a newer player. And that's the same with Uta. I think the Int Uta is just better than this Uta. So I would definitely wouldn't go super evolving her if you don't have probably 3 copies of Uta, to be honest. As for this Luffy, he's very, very good. When he pops up, definitely prioritize him. Roger and Law, to me, are probably the two biggest, or even Odin, because everyone gets Odin and even Yamato for free. These ones here are probably your main priorities, if you don't have 2 copies. Law is just got a massive buff. He does a massive attack boost, and obviously that super type buff is crazy. Odin got a level limit break, and everyone kind of gets Odin for free at the start. Yamato is very easy to acquire at the beginning of the game, and the Int Yamato has just fallen off the planet. And then these two characters are just your regular 6+s that you can pick up through banners. Again, if you're looking for other PvP options, these characters are all very, very good. Ace, you can probably prioritize. if you are running strength teams, but it just depends on what team you're running, depending on what characters are going to pop up. Obviously, like characters like Jack and Bonnie, Cracker, Tesoro. Tesoro's a big one for PvP. Doflamingo. You're going to pick them up on pretty much every single banner. If you're struggling for Grand Voyages, or you're looking at that era of like, all right, sick, I've beat majority of the game, and I'm kind of up to date with the content cycle, these particular characters are going to be the ones that you're going to want to look at, because that you just have to bring them for Grand Voyage. Like, it's, as of right now anyway, like, these are the characters you have to bring. Elite level limit break 5s, these characters are very good if you get them to level limit break 5. But otherwise, their 6+s just sort of make them a little bit better. Solid PvP, if you're struggling in PvP and you do want some other options, and you've kind of already maxed out all these top units up here, then that's the next sort of ones. Grand Voyage, weapons. Again, if you're struggling with Grand Voyage and you just need a little bit more help, these characters are going to be your next best thing. You got your nice buffs, and then you got Don't Bother down here as well. Some characters in Don't Bother, don't get me wrong, they can be used, like Grand Voyage, Grand Voyage, Grand Voyage, Grand Voyage, regular content. But look, most characters can beat Grand Voyage, regular content out. Actually, I forgot to bring this Sabo up. This Sabo is very good in Grand Voyage. I actually used him to do the 1 versus Smoker, so I definitely want to give him some actual love. As for the rest of the tier list, all of these characters are free to play. They are all free to play options that are either 20 cost in Rumble, which is very, very nice, or they are free to play and can be used for stuff like Grand Voyage and whatnot as well. So, the Kute Pirates, we're going to start off with them. They were the first 5+. They are a nice buff. They are very, very good. They guaranteed conditional boost. They remove defense up. They're just a very, very good 5+ unit. I wouldn't say that they are god tier. I wouldn't say that they are elite by any means. They obviously don't need level limit break, so like you don't have to worry about that. But they're just a really nice buff. As for this Jack, look, he's okay in PvP. He's a solid PvP option for strength teams. However, if you are using Jack, you're pretty much using the Legend Jack. Like, that's the must. As for this Big Mom, she is a Grand Voyage must. She's so good in the Arlong Park, and she can be used in the other Grand Voyages. Again, at the Beriate with the Powerhouse, and then in the Driven one as well. She's very, very good as well. So she's definitely a must. As for this Krieg unit, I wouldn't bother. This Blackbeard did get a nice buff. He removes 1 turn of all defensive effects. This Orochi, I wouldn't bother. This Odin's pretty good. I believe he removes barriers. It's just really, really nice. This Roger, very, very good for Grand Voyage. The one at for Zoro at Shellstown. He's very, very good for that. As for this Luffy, probably wouldn't bother. This Uta is exceptional. I'm going to bring this Uta up into like elite level limit break 5, because I believe that's probably where she sits on the echelons of units. You can run her in PvP to trigger Super Tandem Shanks, but like she's so good as a sailor. She's a very, very good free-to-play unit. As for this Shanks, he's very, very good in PvP as a bench unit for Sai. I kind of want to bring him up here in a PvP monster just because like Sai doesn't have that much help when it comes to bench units, but we just had so many Shanks units in the game that are also Sai that it's going to be hard to find a spot for him. So it is what it is. This Brook is a Grand Voyage weapon. Very, very good in that same Grand Voyage that this Roger is. These two characters work exceptionally well together. Doflamingo, don't bother. This Garp, look, this Garp's okay. It's not a bad unit. This Kaido, don't bother. This Perona, though, she's pretty good. She's Color Affinity Booster or an attack booster for Driven and Cerebrals. This Yamato, she's okay too. She gives damage reduction. And she gives 1 orbs, which is quite nice. The Bluno, Beppo, and Sunny-kun unit, I probably wouldn't bother with them. Card Kid, probably wouldn't bother with that either. This Luffy is a very, very good Grand Voyage option for the fight against Buggy over at Lodetown, where you need to bring a Luffy in a Free Spirit team. He's exceptional for that. Like, honestly, like one of the best options. One of the best Luffys you can bring for that, which is kind of scary. This Whitebeard, honestly, wouldn't bother. I think the quick one's just really, really good. This, what's his name? Alba. He's pretty good in PvP, purely because the PvP team that for Quick is Quick Driven Slasher, which he is all 3 of, which works really, really nicely. This Jinbei, he's he's solid in PvP purely because he's a cerebral character, and int cerebral is kind of like a thing now, and because he's 20 cost, I have used him on the bench of a PvP team before. This Kobe's really good. I really like this Kobe. Just like this, what's it called? This Uta, I think this Kobe's exceptional in PvE. Removes 5 turns of Bind and Despair, does a lot of healing, and does a 3-turn chain buff. He also increases attack and orb boost, which is very, very strong too. He's just a very, very good character. So this Luffy in regular play is actually very, very good too. Probably wouldn't... Yeah, I'll put him in nice buff. He's one of the higher end of the nice buffs though. Yeah. X-Drake, don't bother. This CP0 unit, just like Jinbei, another cerebral character you guys can bring for that cerebral team. This Luffy, exceptional in PvP. I actually use him on my PvP team as the Luffy character for Ace because he's 20 cost. He won't be available for you guys right now, but eventually he will be. He's very, very good. And then finally we have Yamato. This Yamato's actually bad. She's the first co-op 5+, so you can't really hold it against her. But she's just a bad character, so like just don't worry about her. But that's going to wrap up the tier list. I will leave a link in the description for you guys to go check it out, so make sure you go do that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you agree, if you disagree with any of the fun stuff down there, let me know, because I love to chat about this type of stuff. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.